We're in the Piper PA-23 150 horse Apache, and we're going to go just fly around the patch and kind of show you the basics of it. Right here under the pilot's instrument panel are your magnetos. So we'll go ahead and turn on your left, and right, and then if you didn't know how to fly an Apache and you're trying to steal one, you probably would take you a while to figure out where the master switch is. But it's way down under this console where the flaps are, right there. So master switch on. We go ahead and get both fuel pumps on. So 2, 4, and 6 switches over here to the left. The other thing that you'd never figure out, a lot of them have been modified. The starter switch is put right up here. But the original Apaches, the starter switch was up under the panel. 2 buttons up under the panel, left and right. And this, I've had a lot of Apaches. This is the only one that has the original starter switches. And again, you'd never figure that out if you were trying to steal the airplane. So we'll go ahead and go mixtures rich, and we're clear out here on our own ramp. We can prime it, but on a warm day like this, I just pump the throttles about 3 times, just like a 57 Chevy. And we'll crack the throttle, and right up under here, we'll find that starter switch. Clear, left. Here we go. Okay, got a good start. Oil pressure's coming up. Right engine clear. Oil pressure's up. And we've been sitting outside. It's fairly warm, so we'll go ahead and taxi on out.
Twin engines. We use differential power to help us make turns to keep us from having to use the brakes, although it does have steering from the rudder right straight down to the nose gear. So it's got very, very, very effective steering. One of the really important things you want to know about an Apache, no kidding, you want to make dang sure that door is closed. There have been some accidents in Apaches that people take off and that door pop open, and the airplane will fly just fine, but it'll scare you to death if you don't know about it. You look back there, the door opens about 6 or 7, 8 inches, and you cannot close it, and the tail just shakes very violently. The horizontal stabilizer. You don't want to put down any flaps. I found that makes it worse. So if it pops open, you just kind of keep it slow, come back around, make a landing. Don't worry about it. But people who get panicked, that's really a situation. So we'll definitely make sure that door is closed before we take off. VMC on this airplane is around 85. It's miles per hour, and you want to be above about 95, which is blue line. I may be off 1 or so miles an hour, but basically 85 and 95. So once it rotates, it's like a Cub. It wants to get off the ground quicker than that. So you'll go ahead and get it light on the nose. You'll pop off the ground about 80. But and I immediately get the gear up, and it really accelerates through 100 really quick. And once I pass through 100, I feel fairly good that we can make it. Okay, right here we'll just run through a kind of a normal run up. We'll make it. We're not doing this as a training video, but we'll run up to about 1,700 RPMs. And I'll run through the mags. I do them both at the same time. Left mags, back up. Right mags, back up. And then we'll cycle the props. We'll come all the way back into feather, and we'll see the prop cycle. And we'll do that 2 times. Real quickly, I'm going to demonstrate this because so many people don't know this. There's a difference between a governor check and a feather check. So we can do a feather check at a low RPM, say below 1,500. So you pull the prop control back in the governing range, and it stops at 1,700. So if you're below 1,700, you don't have any governor whatsoever controlling the prop. So when you come all the way back to feather, you're dumping all the oil, and the spring is pushing the prop into feather. If you have the propeller up at 1,700 RPMs, and you just jerk it back into feather, you really don't know if the governor's working or if the feather's working. So above 1,700, up in the green range, we grab the prop control, and we just ease it back, and we see that we have control of that propeller. We know that we can dump the oil and it feather, but now we know we have control of that. And I just show that just to show the difference between a feather check and a governor check. And a lot of people will just jerk it back, and they really don't understand what they're doing. Not that you have to do that every time, but just to make note of that. I've seen a lot of pilots with a lot of hours that don't know that. Airplane. So start over here. All of our mags are on. Our compass, we're going to go ahead and set it 60 degrees. We got our altimeter set. All of our gauges are in the green. They look good. Prop and throttle are up. Flaps are up. Fuel is on the main tanks. Crossfeed is off. Heater is turned off. And our boost pumps are on. So we're pretty much ready to go. We'll check our controls, make sure they're free and correct, and we'll make a radio call. Mount Pleasant traffic, it's Apache 2108 Papa. We're departing on 17 Mount Pleasant traffic. And we just closed our door, and so we know that thing is good and closed. Looking for traffic, I don't see anybody. Are you ready to go, Eric?
We're good to go.
Here we go. Got Andrew in the back seat.
Is Andrew ready?
Always. Here we go. Okay, we're going to line up here, and I'm just going to take it on the roll. We'll come into full throttle. And I like people to really look at oil pressure, because this is kind of your last chance to back out. RPMs, everything's looking good. We're passing 80 already. We'll go ahead and raise the nose gear, and we're up. Tap the brakes, the gear's coming up. We're already past 100 miles an hour. At 105, and we're climbing. And I never touch the throttles. These are 2,000 hour engines, and they can run wide open. I see people pull them back and trying to save gas, and no reason to do that, especially on takeoff.
Regional airport.
Let's get some altitude up here. And we're at 110 or 15, climbing over 1,000 feet a minute. Everything's good. We're full of mains, basically, and we've got just a little bit out there in the aux tanks. It's a little hazy today, but it's a nice, pretty day actually. Okay, we're 1,000 feet above the ground. I'm going to go ahead and pull us back to about 25 inches of manifold pressure. We'll come back to about 2,500 RPMs. Again, I see no reason to do that much earlier than that, even in the some of the bigger engine airplanes we fly. Just a lot of statistics out there is just keep the power up and give yourself some altitude before you make that first power change. It doesn't have a prop sink on it, obviously, so you'll have to sink the props, but actually once you get leveled off, you can sink these props pretty well. It's very, very comfortable. Tell you what, I'm going to take it over 2,500 feet and we'll level off and we'll kind of show you how she cruises. There's 2,500 feet, and you know, you can cruise this thing at 25 square if you want to, and it goes actually pretty darn fast at 25 square. It'll get you probably close to 140 knots. I'll come back just a little bit on the power, 24 and 24 square or so. About their fastest true airspeed, like with many of these non-turbocharged airplanes, it's going to be around that 5,000 to 6,000 foot. You'll run it wide open and get about 24 inches of manifold pressure. And we're just here just putting along right now, and we're indicating 145 miles an hour. It's pretty darn good at 2,500 feet. Very, very, very gentle on controls. The trims are up here above you. It's very natural, very easy to get to. And if you want to, Eric, I'll demonstrate an engine shutdown to show you kind of what it'll do.
Yeah, sure.
If we were doing training, I would come over and I would probably just pull a mixture on a person. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the left one. So we'll pull the left engine. And then the pilot then would identify that. We want to make sure we get the right engine, because look at manifold pressure. The left engine's dead, but manifold pressure is still right. It's a very tricky instrument. You can't really look at that. Then RPMs, because you've got a constant speed prop, it's showing some RPMs even though it's definitely a little bit less than the right. So we identify with our foot. If you look down here at my foot, man, my dead foot is my left foot. It's not doing anything, and I'm really pushing on the right rudder. Okay, so we know the left engine's dead. We verify that with the throttle. We pull it back. There's no change. And then we would go ahead and go to feather. And so I'd have the person come on in to feather. And at that point in time as an instructor, I would give him that engine back at about 12 inches of manifold pressure, and we call that zero thrust. And that's the way we would simulate a single engine. And here we go. So that's a simulated single engine. Eric, we're close to the airport right now, and so I'll go ahead and we'll do a full shutdown on the right engine just to show you what it'll do. Okay?
All
so
right.
I would go ahead and I would pull the mixture back on the right engine. And again, we identify with our right foot is not doing anything. We verify that the right engine is in fact dead. And then we would feather the right engine. And we make sure we get the correct one. There it is, right engine, back. And if you look out there, she's going to feather nicely. A lot of people want you to be full throttle and all this stuff on the other engine, but in reality, up here at altitude, you don't have to do all of that. Okay, very good. We got a dead engine out there. And I'm going to go ahead and push this other engine up to, say, 25 square. I'll tell you, we'll just take it to full throttle. We'll see what she does. I'm at 100 mile an hour, so I'm just a T9C bit. I'm right now at blue line. Blue line. I'm about a 5-degree bank into the good engine and about a half a ball. About a half a ball. And that helps reduce drag right there. Truth be known, what that really does, it reduces your VMC, and we can talk about that in another video. But look right here, we got a dead engine out there. I mean, this could be a serious situation right now, and as you can see, there's really nothing going on. It's doing fine. We're anywhere from level to climbing 100 feet a minute, and we can go to Dallas if we wanted to. I would not, if I lost an engine, I would land at this nearest suitable airport, no questions about it. But you know, this and a 182, if we both lose an engine, I feel a lot better here. How about you?
Absolutely.
Okay, now the trick. We do not have accumulators, and we'll see if we can get this puppy started out here. So I'm going to go ahead and go mixture rich, and I'm going to take the prop control just to the low RPM, just outside of feather. I'm going to crack the throttle, and we'll see if we can't get it to fire off. Here we go. Right engine. Okay, we got it going now. Now what we're doing, that oil pressure is going against the spring, and it's coming out of feather. RPM is going to stabilize at the bottom of the governor, which is right there, 1700 RPMs. Now what I do, I'll just bring the manifold pressure up to about 15 inches. And then we'll let it warm up a little bit. We'll go ahead and take this other engine, pull it back a little bit. No big hurry. And we'll match them up. I'll stick it at about 22 inches and about 2200 RPMs. And Eric, that's all there is to an engine out in a Piper Apache. It's pretty much a non-event if you do it right. Kind of plan ahead, and we were 2,500 to 3,000, real near the airport. But as you can see, it flies just fine on one engine.
That's nice.
Okay. 125 is your gear speed, and we'll go ahead and make our call. Mount Pleasant traffic, it's Apache 2108. Pop us on a left downwind 17, Mount Pleasant. So we'll go ahead and lower the gear. It's just a hydraulic valve. Push it down, and the gear is coming down. Once the gear comes down and pressure builds back up in the system, we'll get 3 greens, and that will pop back up. If that pops back up and you don't have 3 greens, your gear's still down, unless one is really jammed up there, but it's probably just a light bulb. But that is really your indication your gear's down. But we got our 3 greens down. So the old Gump's checklist just works so well no matter what you're in. So gas is on the main tanks right here. Gas is on the main tanks, boost pump's on. Undercarriage is down and locked. Mixture's rich. I get the props on super short final. And seat belts on. Flap speed's a little low. It's about 100 miles an hour. So you kind of really got to slow down to get the flaps. So I normally fly a little faster than that, so I get the flaps kind of on a shorter final. Like we're in Dallas right now, I mean, we'd be at 125 coming in, and I wouldn't even worry about flaps. Okay, it looks clear. Make sure you look out. I see so many people don't look, and so many planes don't have radios, including some of ours. So always look out for guys. Mount Pleasant traffic, Apache 2108 pops on final, 17, full stop. And again, I'm at 110 miles an hour. Some people say, well, that's a little bit fast, and they're right. But speed really has never hurt too many people out here on final. It slows down really nice. I pretty well got the landing made right now. So I'll go ahead and slow it on down, and I'll go ahead and get full flaps. I mean, could we go around? Absolutely. Am I going to? No. I mean, I'm pretty well committed to land at this point. I'm still about that 95 to 100. I hold that pretty much all the way down. And right here at the end, I go ahead and pull the power all the way off. And it's pretty quick. It slows down really nicely. And held the nose wheel off, which is kind of hard to do in Apaches. A lot of times the nose wheel will just slot back down on. I mean, if you had to get it in and stopped, I think you could do it in probably 600 feet without any big problem. You can get it off the ground in less than 1,000, so you could get it in and out of 1,000 if you had to, but it's nice having 6,000 feet out there in front of us.
This video was brought to you by the Mid-America Flight Museum and Victor Premium Dog Food. Hi, I'm Eric Johnston. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel to enjoy many more aviation videos to come.